Hi everyone, in this short video, we are going to see the PRISMA AIRS red teaming authentication. In terms of authentication methods, so these are the three methods supported within PRISMA AIRS red teaming: header authentication, payload authentication, and recently PRISMA AIRS they launched OAuth 2.0 authentication. So today we are going to look into OAuth 2.0 authentication method. So in terms of the OAuth, so within Prisma AIRS, it supports client credential flow. So let's see how everything is going to look like. So there are three different components. We will be looking into the demonstration as well. The first thing is the Prisma AIRS red teaming service, and the second is going to be authorization server or IDP. In my case, it's going to be Entra ID. And in terms of the resource server, so we will be doing a red teaming on the Azure AI Foundry, one of the models. So this is how this entire flow is going to look like. We will authenticate to the authorization server. We will get a short-lived access token. The same access token will be forwarded to the resource server, and then it's going to check, hey, whether token is valid or not. And once everything goes through, so this is how this entire access pattern is going to look like. In terms of the demonstration, this is what we are going to see. Again, it is a step-by-step video. So you can follow this video to configure uh, everything on Entra ID as well as on the Prisma AIRS as well. The first thing is we are going to do application registration on Entra ID. Then we will be using Postman just to do a quick testing whether everything works. Once everything works, then we will come to Prisma AIRS red teaming and we will start integrating it with Azure AI Foundry for the red teaming. So let's get started. So let me bring up my workstation. So here I log in into my Entra ID. In Entra ID, what you have to do to register your application, you have to go to app registrations, click on new registration. Let's name it red teaming. You can register your application. So once application registration is done, so we will go to certificates and secrets. Click here. Let's create a new client secret. So I'm gonna say red teaming. So I will generate this token only for 1 day because we wanna carry out a quick testing. For your purposes, you can extend this token as well. But for my case, I will be generating this client secret just for 1 day. After that, it's going to expire. So once you generate this client secret, so one of the first thing you have to do, you have to copy this value. Again, it's going to be visible only uh, the time when you create this client secret. After that, you will not be able to copy this client secret at all. I will copy this. So once you copy this, then come to the overview section. In the overview section, there are a couple of key details what we have to copy. The first is the tenant ID. Um, Tenant ID. After that, you have to copy another key thing is called client ID. So this is what my client ID is. So I will copy this. So these are the only things what we require from on Friday side. So now what we will do, we will open up the Postman. In Postman, let me go to the collections. So we'll generate a new collection called red teaming. Let's name it like a red teaming. So once you do that, go to authorization. In authorization, we will change it to OAuth 2.0. And here I'm going to give my token name as red teaming. In the grant type, this is the most important thing within Prisma AIRS red teaming. it supports client credential. So I'll change it to client credentials. So now we have to provide a couple of key parameters. The first one is the access token URL. In case of Microsoft, so this is how it's going to look like. So let me paste it on the notepad. So, so this is how this entire URL is going to look like. So you have to provide this login.microsoftonline.com. Here comes your tenant ID. After that, you have to append it with OAuth 2, version 2.0, and token. So what I do, I'll copy this one and I'll paste it here. Then in the previous tab, so we have copied a client ID and client secret as well. So you have to provide those values. So let me put it here, my client ID, and then I will provide my client secret as well. So once you do that, for scope, what we have to do, because we will be calling Azure AI service, AI Foundry service. So this is how the scope is gonna look like. ai.azure.com/default. So this becomes my scope. So what we will do, we'll click on get new access token. See, our authentication went through. So you can click on proceed and you will be able to get your new access token. So this one looks okay. So as a next step, what we will do, we'll go to our Microsoft Foundry. So here, this is the model what we are going to test today. So this is what my project is, RGURG PRISMA test. It can be anything for you guys. So this is what my target URI is. So Microsoft, they have recently changed. So if we look at this target URI, it doesn't correspond to this particular model at all. So I'll explain you what you guys can do. So you simply paste it here. So what you have to do, so this will be your final URI, what you have to use to test out this particular model. So here, if you see the first, the argug prisma test resource dot services dot ai dot azure.com, until this particular point, it's the same. After that, so this is what we have to append: OpenAI deployment. In my case, it was GPT 4.40 chat completion, and this is the API version. What for this particular model? Again, you can ask your Gen AI tool, and it should be able to provide you this particular information. So once you get this, what we are going to do, we are going to generate a new request. So here it should be post. I'm going to provide my URL in terms of the body. So this is what we have to provide. So you have to provide a JSON. So this is what I came up. Again, with the help of the Gemini, you can use any of the tools of your own choice. I'll put it here. So this is how everything is going to look like. We are just telling our GPT model, hey, you are a helpful assistant, and it should be able to provide us some sort of a response. So what we will do, we'll go back to the red teaming. We'll grab a new access token, click on proceed. We are going to use this token. So that's how this token is automatically going to copy it to our request. And then we are going to click on send. So once you click on send, so here you have noticed, so you have got a permission denied message. It was expected because the service principal or application we have created, it doesn't have a permission to access this particular resources. What we will do, So it's the argirc Prisma test. It is uh, under my resource group called Raj Foundry Access. What I will do, I'll go to the Identity Access Management Service. Then we are going to assign a role. For the role, you have to assign a cognitive services OpenAI user. So this is what your role should be. So this is what you have to assign. Click on next, select members. So we are going to look for our application. So let's type red teaming. So my application name has come up. Click on select, review, plus assign. Once you complete this step, it takes like a couple of minutes for Microsoft to propagate the permissions internally. So what we will do, we'll try our luck again to see whether it works. Somehow it didn't work. So what we will do, I will pause this video and then we will come back in a couple of minutes time. It took almost 5 minutes for Microsoft to start reflecting that, hey, this service user has been assigned a appropriate role. So what we will do, we'll get a new access token. I'm going to click on proceed. Let's use this token. And once we go to the new request, so again, everything remains the same. I didn't change anything at all. So we'll send a request and you will be able to see, voila, we started getting a response. So you have to be a bit patient because role propagation, sometimes it takes a couple of minutes. So now here we see everything looks to be working fine within Postman. As a next step, what we will do, I'll close my workstation and we will go to our Prisma AIRS. Under the Prisma AIRS, we are going to go to the targets and we are going to create a new target. So here I'm going to create a new target called, let's name it as red teaming. We want to target the model. I'm going to use REST API. Again, it is public. Here we are going to choose manual entry as our step. So here we have to fill in a couple of details. So the first thing is you have to provide your endpoint for the model, what you wanted to test out. I will provide my endpoint. So support session I will keep as it is. So here as the next step, HTTP headers. So here we have to provide content type. Value is going to be application JSON. So once you are done this thing, as the next step, you have to check on the authentication method. In my case, we are looking at OAuth 2.0. In the OAuth 2.0, so you have to provide a couple of things. So the first thing is our token URL. So it's the same thing what we configured in the Postman. So you just paste it here and our token is gonna expire after 60 minutes. So this is one of the things you guys have to take note. Again, in Microsoft, they typically issue token for from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. So if we configure 60 minutes, it's quite appropriate here. Then we have to provide a token request headers. So this is what it's gonna look like content type, and then the value is gonna be application slash x www form URL encoded. Then we have to provide the token request body parameter here. So this is what it's gonna look like. I'll paste it here. Then we have to go and change those settings. So the client ID and the client secret as well as the scope. So this is what we configured in the Postman as well. So what I will do, I will change my client secret. So again, this value is really a secret, but what we will do after this demo, I will go and delete these client ID and a client secret pair. So you have to provide your client ID then as a last step. So here, this scope is cognitive services, but if you remember, we have to use Azure AI, ai.azure.com as our scope. So I'll go and change this one. So this is how it should look like, at least for Azure AI Foundry. Here it's going to be access token, it's going to be authorization, it's going to be bearer token. So this is pretty much what we have to configure here. Click on next, verify, and look at the JSON. Looks like everything went through. In terms of the request JSON and response, so this is how it should look like. So this becomes my request JSON, and comes my response JSON. So once you configure this, click on next. So we'll try to validate the target. If we configure everything perfectly, then it should go through. So here looks like everything went through successfully. We are going to select a target background. Here I'm going to say just a red teaming. Additional context, I'll just leave it blank. Then we will click on submit. So this is what our target is. So now what we will do as a next step, we'll try to scan this specific target. Here, I'm gonna name it as a red teaming. So let's try this red teaming using a tag library. So here I'm gonna deselect all, deselect all. Here I just wanna choose like one of these. Under the brand reputation again, we are just trying it out whether everything works or not. So once I click on start scanning, so it takes a couple of minutes to start scanning the model. We'll come back in few minutes time. So it took almost like 3-4 minutes to test out. So here you see our scan has been completed successfully. There were like 5 successful attacks, and you will be able to see the risk score and the attack success rate. So thanks a lot for watching this step-by-step video around how to configure OAuth for integration with the PRISMA AIRS red teaming service. So thanks a lot, everyone.